Hey, good morning and welcome to the Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm your host, Eric Cedarstrom, merged with the Patriot Radio News Hour, the Eric Cedarstrom Show, and we're broadcasting live from beautiful Deer Valley Air Park. The Deer Valley Air Park is the busiest small airport in America, if not the world. Somebody told me the world. I don't know. I never Googled it or checked it, but it's a beautiful day to be alive. Well, as long as you're not in Phoenix and you have hay fever. It is a mess out there. I mean, the yellow is running amok. But you can reach the Patriot Trading Group at 1-800-951-0592. You can also head out to their website at allamericangold.com, updated daily. They've got news, views, pricing. You can order. You can do anything you want. Well, you know, within reason, as long as it's legal. allamericangold.com. The traffic in Phoenix here, for all the local listeners listening, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. And I don't have to tell you it's a mess. I mean, it's just horrible. It took me an hour, well, all right, I lied, about 50 minutes to go 12 miles today, come in from the North Valley. Not one, but two wrecks on Cave Creek Road. People have just gone crazy. The opioid drivers, I mean, this is why Waymo and the driverless cars are coming. Because we've got last night another wrong way wreck. I mean, are you kidding me? What is going? People, you know, we have more people falling into the Grand Canyon ever in the history. I mean, how long has that thing been there? Since the Ice Age. Now, more people this year, I think, have fallen in, or the last 12 months, than any other stretch in history. You can't get it, go the right way on the freeway, and everything's a mess. And I blame it on our governor. The whole thing on Doug Ducey. The $32 a car thing he refuses to sign. They got rid of the law. He just has to sign it. $32 a year. If you're a guy who likes to collect cars and you got them laying around like I do, it just aggravates you to license them. You know, an old truck you could do for $25. Now add $32 for every year. And second, here's one I thought. I think Ducey's, should be on the hook for all this traffic. Bridget Kelly is. Former aide to ex-New Jersey Governor Chris Christie said today that her former boss made her a scapegoat for the 2013 Bridgegate scandal. Kelly was sentenced Wednesday to 13 months in prison for her role in which the governor's office allegedly worked to create traffic jams on the George Washington Bridge as political retaliation against the mayor of Fort Lee, New Jersey, for not supporting Kristen's reelection. That explains a lot. So whatever's happening, the traffic, you can't go down the roads, you can't go anywhere in Phoenix. I think the governor's on the hook. I'm joined this morning with the CEO and president of Patriot Trading Group and CEO of KHNC 1360, the American Freedom Network, a captain of industry, Joe Jaquint. Good morning. How you doing, kid?
I'm doing all right.
All right. It's good to see you. You look good. Let me tell you, the one thing on everybody's mind, I know it's on your mind, and it is dominating the airwaves, and it is literally taking up over half the bandwidth of the entire country. People cannot stop talking about what's coming up here, and, of course, we all know what it is. Who will the Cardinals pick tonight? I mean, it's crazy. They're throwing a party down at Cardinal Stadium. The newscasts are going. They have cheerleader camp. So they finally figured out a way to get the women involved. Very smart.
It is. And let's face it, you got to reward sucking. Yeah. Because the reason why everybody's so excited is we were so bad that we've got the first pick.
You know, it's amazing that the Arizona sports have to be at the bottom. I mean, the Phoenix Suns, what'd they win? 19 games or something? The entire
They
season?
fired 4 coaches in 5 years.
Yeah.
I got news for you. It's not the coaching.
ASU, U of A, I mean, the football's just been horrible. So, I mean, well, what are you going to do? You're listening to Eric Cedarstrom. And the Patriot Radio News Hour is brought to you by the Patriot Trading Group, 1-800-951-0592. This is hour one for me. We do 3 hours total here, Monday through Friday. You can follow us over at allamericangold.com. You can put it on your phone. You can put me on your dash. You can take me camping. You can do a lot of things. This show replays on YouTube. this hour.
Yep.
Go to YouTube Patriot Trading Group, and you can just click, and all of Joe's shows are there. All the Patriot shows are there, and now the ones that I'm sitting in with him on as well. So anyway, if you're stuck in traffic and you're listening to KXXT 1010 here in Phoenix, then it's Doozy's fault, the whole thing. So you can blame it on him, send a letter. Actually, it is. They've turned this place into New Jersey anyways. This is where they're going. So, it is a mess of epic proportions. I'm going to go to another Gallup poll. I did one in the third hour yesterday. They only interviewed 1,000 people. Gallup polls just interview 1,000 people, and it takes them Gallup was the polling thing. If a Gallup poll came out,
it had credibility.
Oh, yeah, huge credibility. Now, as I'm starting to do this radio thing and getting going again after 4 years of retirement, that I'm amazed. There's a new Gallup poll comes out every other day, but they don't interview anybody. So the latest Gallup poll, Americans rank among being the most stressed out people in the world. But believe it or not, it's not all about politics. The survey in which part of the annual Gallup poll it says the United States where 1,000 adults were questioned. That's it. So, they interviewed them in New York. So let me ask you, call someone in New York, are you stressed out? They go, shut the hell up. What do you want? That's just normal. That's how they talk to their wives. All right. You're listening to The Blind Leading the Stupid. Stay with us. Oh, yeah, rocking and firing this morning. Thanks for tuning in. You're listening to the Patriot Radio News Hour. Eric Cedarstrom Show and Joe Jaquint. How you doing? It's Thursday, April 25th, 2019. And I was talking about the new Gallup poll that Americans were stressed out. Well, they only called 1,000. I guess they call them. I don't know, they email them or call them, text them. I don't know. But anyway, out of the 1,000, 55% say they have experienced stress over a lot of the days. I had a fairly stress-free life until recently. About 3 hours a day seems to be ired. But anyway, compared only 35% of people globally. So don't forget, there's 130 Mexicans down in 130 million Mexicans. You know that? That's how big the country is. I don't know how many of them are still left down there. And again, it is a Mexican number, so you can't believe anything. So,
well, but again, there's 30 million of them in California.
Yeah, who knows what's left down there. But, why they would leave a country that takes a nap every day at noon, you take a siesta, you close up, you take a nap, and come here is beyond me. So they better hurry up and get the wall up in case they all decide to go back.
I'm just saying right now, a nap sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, it's a sign of intelligence, as we all know.
I'm the smartest guy in the world.
There you go. Get a nap, man. Wouldn't that be great? I always thought, a guy comes in, listen, I want to buy some gold. Well, hang on, it's nap time. So,
call back in a half hour, will you?
Half hour. Siesta. You need a siesta. Of course, if you go way back, you follow it back. Siestas were, grog hour. That's what they used to call it in America. So you had to get your daily dose of grog. But now we're all just stressed out. Joe Biden? Listen, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I've made some pretty crazy predictions, but I don't think Joe Biden has an absolute chance at all. But this is the machine, the Democratic machine. Hillary Clinton was their girl. She was it. Bernie had her whooped, had her hands down whooped. I still think that the Democrats would be president right now had they not messed that thing up. But Joe Biden cannot beat Trump. And again, the Democratic Party, the people who identify themselves as Democrats, I think the majority of them are more on the AOC thing, AOC, Alexandria Cortez. They're more on the far, far, far left. Will get more votes. But anyway, former Vice President Joe Biden formally joined the crowded Democratic presidential contest today, betting that his working class appeal and ties to Barack Hussein Obama's presidency will help him overcome questions about his place in today's increasing liberal Democratic Party. He made his announcement in a video posted on Twitter. Thursday's announcement marks the unofficial end of the chaotic early phase of the 2020 presidential season. The field now features at least 20 Dems jockeying for the chance to take on President Donald Trump next year. And I think the country's changed a lot more. I think it's changed a lot more than they think it has, and I think the Democratic Party has once again made a mistake. I think they'd much be better to put Bernie in. I think Bernie will beat Biden anyway, so that's my call. So we'll see what happens. But again, the whole thing's rigged. You know it. Biden loves trains, by the way. Him and I have a lot in common.
Well, you know what I was going to say is they I don't know if you saw, they're now saying that Biden's beating Trump by 8 points.
I saw that this morning. They could have put anybody. They could have put Mickey Mouse up.
This is what they're trying to do because nobody actually believes that.
Mickey Mouse is beating
that's
Trump.
how much they hate Bernie.
I know. I know. The Dems don't want him, and he's too far left. All right, but they don't understand. The country's going socialist, and you can't stop it. You're going to let 50 million illegals in that all want handouts. How do you get handouts? You need to be socialism hands things out. They take it from everybody else and give it to you. So the people that are on the bottom all want socialism. Well, I want you to put this this phrase in your quiver. It's the population growth strategy. Okay?
Population growth
strategy. Mayor Pete let that fly at the CNN town hall that the Hispanics are all welcome in Indiana. It's part of our population growth strategy. Now, again, for the lowest reproductive rate ever, if you follow the show last week, ever in the history of American citizens is right now. And they've been tracking it 100 years. So our fertility rate, in other words, how many children we're reproducing and keeping a society going, is the lowest it's ever been. So the schools would be empty. I keep telling you that, and I don't think people understand what's really happening.
A lot of schools, and you're right about this, a lot of schools without the illegal children here would go bankrupt.
And in Phoenix,
because they get paid for every kid. It doesn't matter. Legal, illegal, you got a butt in the seat, you get a check.
Yep, you get a check. So they don't care where they come from. So, and it is part of the population growth strategy. This is what they've adopted. Doesn't matter, Republican, Democrat, this is it, because they know. And it's all, I think it comes down to business, obviously, where they want the customers and they need the cheap labor. It's all business. But the decimation of this country is unfixable. They won't be able to fix it.
But the climate changers, they want to reduce the population. I mean, right? What do they want to do? Let's get rid of cows, chickens, pigs,
airplanes,
farmers,
fossil fuels. Right? Yeah. Let's go back to the Stone Age. So now, here's one. Nearly 100,000. I got to see who did this first. Oh, the Migration Policy Institute. We're going to have to look these guys up. The nearly 100,000 undocumented students graduate from U.S. high schools every year with access to DACA protections, resulting in limited job opportunities and access to higher education, according to analysis released yesterday by the Migration Policy Institute. MPI is a nonpartisan think tank. Yeah, butt nonpartisan.
When you hear nonpartisan, that means
in
totally
Washington, D.C., yeah. 100,000, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to go high school, 8th grade and under in the city of Phoenix, 60%. How about that?
Well, you know what?
60% are Hispanic. Illegal, I don't know. But Hispanic, probably 60%.
But this is another number that hasn't changed in 15 years. This is the numbers they were using when I first started here.
Right, 100,000.
Right, 100,000. Yeah, it's way more than that.
Yeah, matter of fact, Congress has yet to act on bills that would offer a pathway to legal status for those graduates, despite lawmakers' efforts in 2001. And under President Donald Trump, no new applications are being accepted for DACA, which allows college and work opportunities for children. But again, this is the country. This is the population growth strategy. So either they have to embrace it, educate, move on, tax them. They tax everything else and destroy America.
Trump needs to call this guy out.
Yeah, I agree.
He needs to call him out. You know what? Homeland Security is releasing 1,400 people a day. 1,400 illegals a day.
Did you see that? That was amazing.
Just send them to Indiana.
Amazing
Put them
story.
on the bus, head to Indiana. Let's just call them out.
Well, they actually, that was just in Texas where they got them. I saw the article.
My bad.
Yeah, 7,000 in Texas. They took some to California. They brought some to Arizona. Now, I'm just going to tell you, this is the government at work. Exporting illegals from Texas to Arizona is like taking sand to the beach. We got plenty here. We don't need any more. And you're starting to see it. If you drive around here and you get down closer to the bus stations, have you noticed, and the freeways, and they must give them money. So I think part of the asylum thing is they get a check, a bus ticket, a telephone. I wonder who has the contract for the ankle bracelets. I mean, that's got to be a huge contract. They put the
Do they really do that?
Well, yeah. They get a court date. Now they're supposed to be holding them. Do you see that? They're supposed to hold them. They did a thing. It was on the news last night that somebody went down and interviewed them in Spanish and asked them, would you rather be in jail? Because they put them back on the other side while they're waiting for asylum. They go back into Mexico. Or you can be held in a prison like Tent City. They asked him, would you rather be in Mexico or in jail in Arizona in Tent City? Unanimous. Jail.
Jail, right?
That's how bad Mexico really is. Well, who wants to be in a border town anyway? It's nothing but three-legged dogs. It's
violence.
It's crazy. So I don't know. These, and again, the largest issues facing America right now, or what's left of America, but let's just, figure 130 million, 50 million here. Nobody knows how big it is. The country's going to lose all its identity, and they don't care. What's amazing is nobody cares. The next generation doesn't care. They don't care anything about it. They're tearing down all the monuments of history. I mean, they're just rewriting it all, tearing it all down. The balkanization of the United States, and without firing a shot. Without firing a single shot. Well, not yet anyway. So, I mean, where this is all going. And let me tell you how bad it is. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol is now offering its agents a 5% bonus if they'll stay with the agency another year in hopes of keeping experienced agents from leaving while record numbers of people are entering the country illegally. Investing in the men and women of the United States Border Patrol continues to be my top priority, Border Chief Carla Provost said in a statement to Fox News. The experience and expertise are critical to successfully accomplishing the border security mission. Now, obviously, to outsource this, which, they like to outsource prisons. If you outsourced it, it would be a much more efficient type situation. I mean, all you have to do is look at NASA. We're going to go to the moon without an astronaut, by the way, for $7 billion. And Elon Musk can do it for 98% less. So
his moon thing may just burst into flames, though, in the parking garage.
Yeah, so. He's got problems. So when I'm going to talk about him, I have him on tap this 3 hours. But anyway, morale is dropping. Now, why they tried to outsource us, but they arrested the guy in New Mexico, and then he got the snot beat out of him. Think about this. They get a guy who's trying to help the country and arrest illegals, and they put him in jail with the illegals. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, I absolutely guarantee it, before the sun sets on this deal, this guy, and I wish I had his name. I did have it yesterday, and is going to win a massive lawsuit.
A big check.
A big check.
Big check.
So,
for those of you that don't know, he got his backside whooped in the jail that they put him in.
I'm not touching that one.
Okay.
That's Joe Jaquint, CEO, Patriot Trading Group. You can reach him at 1-800-951-0592. Anyway, of the bonuses. Now, if they made
Think about the illegals already cost us well in excess of $100 billion a year, not to mention all the money that they send back to their countries of origin. So you figure, let's call it another $100 billion. So a couple of $100 billion minimum that they're costing us already. And now we got to pay bonuses to the Border Patrol agents because they're like, hey, we're tired of this job now. Because you don't let it, we just got to release. We're not allowed to do our job.
Well, the same thing happened in Iraq. Okay,
right, the soldiers.
Right, and they're like, okay, well, we're done. And they sent mercenaries down there, Those guys made a lot of money. There's a lot of money in the spoils of war, obviously. The military-industrial complex that goes private cashes big checks. So, I mean, why is there not a mercenary company stepping up here to save the taxpayers' money? I mean, because we're going to talk about, Joe's exactly right, what the bonuses will cost. I mean, it would be cheaper to turn this into a private organization. You're listening to Eric Cedarstrom on a Thursday. We'll be back.
This is the Phyllis Schlafly Report, a daily commentary continuing the conservative pro-family legacy of Phyllis Schlafly. And now, from the archives of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, here is Phyllis Schlafly.
Communist China adopted a policy of one child per couple in 1978 to limit the country's growing population in order to help economic growth, national security, and environmental preservation. The tragedies and cruelty of forced abortions shock the world, but sex-selective abortions are the cause of most of the missing girls. Now, 30 years later, we see the terrible results that nobody seemed to predict when this policy was imposed. Chinese boys now outnumber Chinese girls by the millions. The Chinese government recently admitted that 24 million Chinese men might not be able to find brides in the year 2020. Other estimates put that number in the 30 million to 50 million range. A new word has been invented, gendercide. This phenomenon of missing girls has turned China into a giant magnet for human traffickers who lure or kidnap women and sell them into forced marriages or the commercial sex trade. The trafficking in girls has spread to other countries. North Korean girls are especially vulnerable. North Korean girls are kidnapped to be put into forced marriages or prostitution. The totalitarian communist Chinese government says it wants to change China's traditional son preference ideology, but that will be very difficult to impossible. Chinese parents believe they must have a son to carry on their family name, inherit family properties, support them in their old age, and host their funeral ceremonies. Tradition says that sons belong to their father's lineage, but daughters become part of their husband's family. What will China do with 30 to 50 million men who cannot find a woman to share their lives? It is frightening that the obvious answer to that question is that China will have to go to war so that the extra men can be killed.
This has been the Phyllis Schlafly Report with Ed Martin. The book, Phyllis Schlafly Speaks, reflects Phyllis at her best, with powerful words that deliver truth, bring clarity to controversial issues, and inspire action. For your free copy of Phyllis Schlafly Speaks, for radio listeners only, look for the link at phyllisschlafly.com or call 314-721-1213. Thanks for listening, and join us again for the Phyllis Schlafly Report.
No, sir. Yes, ma'am. Bye.
The Eric Cedarstrom Show, Patriot Radio News Hour. You can reach the Patriot Trading Group, the best company for gold and silver, at 1-800-951-0592. Or head out to their website at allamericangold.com, 24/7, 365. On the information superhighway, heading into the break, we were talking about bonuses. Bonuses for the brave men and women guarding the border. And they're offering them a 5% pay increase because morale is dropping among the agents. And retirements are increasing. and there's a shortage of new personnel. Taxpayers will pay $84 million for the bonuses, which will come from the existing CBP budget. Bonus of roughly $5,000 will go to the more experienced supervisors who have had at least 7 years on the job and earn about $100,000 annually. Wow. They'll get the money in quarterly increments, $1,250 over each year. That's how they keep them. But you know what? We did a thing on bonuses in America, given to American workers, that 68% of the money ends up in China. So every time China sees, that's where it ends up. Well, can't buy anything. Doesn't have Chinese. Somebody really went through it and broke it all down. Like, well, this China, even if you go buy a Japanese car, it has Chinese parts. Right, yeah. And everything. So, 68% of all taxpayer money handed out goes to the commies. This is what they did. I didn't do it. This is what they did. This is what they created for America. This was our business model. The global regimes, and the president trying to fix it, and God, he's the most evil, evil man on earth. But according to border security, this is one way of expressing our appreciations for agents who are the backbone of our operation. Currently, by the way, you people keeping score as the country goes right to left on your AM dial, currently there are 19,484 Border Patrol agents, down from 21,444 in 2011. How about that? So you've got illegal immigration, running absolutely rampant, and the number of agents are down, 10%. And people are retiring faster than new agents can be hired. The attrition rate is 38% higher this year than last year. Now, those are border patrols. A buddy of mine's brother is an ICE agent. It's ridiculous, the rules of engagement that they hand these guys. It changes every day. They are actually allowed to arrest some of them, and now the sanctuary cities, and this guy travels all around. They send him, he's like a SWAT team member of ICE, and the frustration is just horrible for those guys, and my heart goes out to them, and they do a heck of a job, if you're an ICE agent, don't forget, the press would have you believe that everybody coming over is children, And you look at these videos, these guys are rough. Some of these guys are rough coming in here.
Even now, yes. Is there an increase in the amount of women and children coming? Yes. But there's a huge increase in the amount of people actually coming. The vast majority of them are still young men. And you're absolutely right. You know what? They also would have you believe that ICE is out there trying to go out and pick up the person that's never committed a crime ever in their life and had a speeding ticket. That's not what they're after.
No.
Right? They're going after the absolute worst of the illegals, and these sanctuary cities won't even tell them that they're releasing these people. It defies logic. It just does.
Well, and all of it, trying to figure out what the game plan is, and the only thing that I can figure is what we started with today, and it's the managed population growth strategy. So it's just nuts what's happening out there. But we'll see. We're watching it all together. Of course, Arizona being on a border state, we get it here, and the rest of the country wants them. Somehow, according to Mayor Pete, that come to Indiana. We want you. The Florida passed a high-profile Republican bill yesterday requiring local law enforcement agencies to cooperate with federal immigration authorities and banning the so-called sanctuary city policies that shield immigrants who are arrested. The GOP-led House in Florida voted 69-47, right straight along party lines, for Wednesday for the measure, sending it over to the Senate where a similar bill is pending. Florida doesn't currently have any formal sanctuary cities like those in other states, but the bill sponsored by GOP Rep. Cord Bird of Jacksonville Beach will require local authorities to honor federal immigration. It's funny, the city councils from like Daytona Beach and all, they all got together when MTV took over and rap music, and they didn't want the spring breaks down there. At first, in the 50s and 60s, the kids all coming down in their Tri-5 Chevys, and then the rich college kids coming. They all fought for the business. They all fought for it. And now they don't want it. They don't even want it. Too much trouble, the thumping music, just horrible. And, I can't see those same people wanting to go, well, let's open up our beaches to all the people that, can cross the border and come in. I don't think it's going to happen. So maybe there is a semblance of some sort of sanity left in America. Here, I got to tell you, I got this in the mail today. They don't do this just for everybody. I am a Trump supporter. I got a Trump key tag. Not only do you get a card, you get a Trump Pence card, but you get a Trump key tag. Now, not everybody's got one of these. This is a pretty high honor. It says, thank you, dear Mr. President Trump. They want me to send this back to him. Dear Mr. President Trump, thank you for sending my 2019 Make America Great Again membership card and key tag. I'm proud to commit today to stand shoulder to shoulder with you in the critical months ahead as we work together to ensure your reelection. To help raise the millions of dollars it'll take to win in 2020, I'm enclosing a special reelection contribution. You can go $25 up to $5,000 in the boxes, or you can check other. The most you can donate to Trump, and this is contributions go to Trump Make America Great Again Committee. The most you can contribute is $41,100. So I'll have to check my sock drawer on that one to see how we're doing. But, I thought putting the Trump key tag. Now, years ago, I made the mistake of putting an Impeach Clinton bumper sticker on my Suburban. And, I got to tell you that people didn't care for that. I got cut off in traffic. The vehicle got keyed. It's just terrible. Flipped off. The liberals are crazy. You don't want to mess with them. And I was thinking, if you had a Trump key tag and you had to valet park my Dodge truck, what are the chances that the Hispanic valet, this could be a Ferris Bueller thing,
It may not go so well for the vehicle. Next thing you know, you see outside the window, there goes your car flying down the road.
Look at it, it's a bright red key tag. No question, just says Trump on it. The ID card says Trump Pence, though, so figure that one out. Make America Great Again. Listen to Patriot Radio News Hour. Hey, you're listening to the very best in conservative radio entertainment, the Eric Cedarstrom Show, brought to you by the Patriot Trading Group. Gold and silver is what they do. You can call the fine people at 1-800-951-0592 and get you some. Letter I got in the mail from Donald Trump says, Dear Mr. Cedarstrom, I know that, like me, you believe in a strong, prosperous America. While we've all worked hard and accomplished a great deal to meet that goal in the past 2 years, we still have a huge task ahead. To ensure I'm reelected, it's vital that I have your support as we begin building the campaign organization that will be needed to win against my ruthless opponents. And we must begin now. This is why I got what he sent me, the Make America Great Again card and key tag, but the special privilege of carrying this limited edition card and key tag is reserved only for my most loyal supporters. Mr. Cedarstrom, as you read this letter, the America we love is being torn apart by a growing faction of leftist dissidents and extremists who have gained control of the Democratic Party and are determined to radically change our nation as they target everything that you and I believe in and work to gain more and more political clout. It's absolutely crucial that we fight back with every possible resource. Amen. If you get a chance, go to Make America Great Again and send the president some money. The alternatives you are not going to like. Now, on the flip side, it will make for excellent radio. But on the backside, the life, the next generation, your grandchildren, my grandchildren face, the illegals just flowing in here, changing the cities, turning everything into Mexico. Just picture another quarter century. Picture 25 years of that crap. So here, this is important. I want all you people to pay attention, especially for this crowd. The Navy's putting together new guidelines for its personnel to report UFOs. Okay, so apparently they've had it with you guys going, yeah, I did. I saw her. She's right over there. She flew right over, hovered over my trailer, picked up my kids, took my dog, 3 cows. They were gone for a week and came back, and here they are. The move now is an attempt by the Navy to create a formal process to collect and analyze unexplained sightings. According to Politico, it's in response to reported sightings of unknown, highly advanced aircraft in the area, the Navy strike groups and military facilities. There have been a number of reports of unauthorized or unidentified aircraft entering various military-controlled ranges, designated airspace in recent years, the Navy said in a statement. Well, George Norrie'd have a blast with this one. For safety and concerns now, the Navy and the Air Force take these reports very seriously and investigates each and every one. As part of this effort, the Navy's updating and formalizing the process by which reports of any such suspected incursions can be made to the cognizant authorities. A new message to the fleet that will detail the steps for reporting is in a draft. Politico noted the Navy's not endorsing any of its personnel encountering alien spacecraft. However, the Navy wants sightings of strange aircraft officially recorded and studied. So right now we have a situation in which UFOs and UAPs, you know what that one is?
I don't know.
Every day we learn something listening to Eric Cedarstrom. The UAP is an unexplained aerial phenomena. And it's treated, yeah. And
okay. Unexplained aerial phenomena.
A UAP, yeah. So
it's not a UFO.
Was it a UFO or a UAP? Oh, man. Okay. Anyway, they're treated as anomalies to be ignored rather than anomalies to be explored, said Chris Mellon, a former Pentagon intelligence official. So now, you people, watch it. One just came over. It's close. Get them on the phone. There is now protocol to follow. I'll tell you.
Is this just for military personnel?
Well, I think it's for everybody. I don't know. Hard to say. Yeah, I guess for military. I guess this would be just for military.
You know, I'm starting to think about, wait a minute now.
They should have a toll-free number to call.
Put it in the cockpit of every fighter jet.
Right.
If you see a UFO, call this number. If you see a UAP, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Call this number.
So, I mean,
press 2 for Spanish.
If it's firing at you, you're SOL. Speaking of UFOs,
here.
Yeah, I know. I thought I'd throw that in there. That makes for good radio. Obama, he ends his primary silence to praise but not endorse Joe Biden. Don't you think that's kind of weird? See, this is what I'm telling you. Obama knows. He's like, I'm not getting in this camp. I don't think Joe Biden has any shot. You know, granted, the Democrats have had good luck with womenizing gray-haired guys. I mean, let's face it. It's paid off for them. But
it worked out real well for that other guy.
Yeah, but former El Presidente Barack Hussein Obama, remember the day we read his name? You got to go back. You got way back.
Which one, the Barry Soetoro?
Yeah, Barry Soetoro, when he's running for president. And it's right about where we were in the election stage now, you know, right when the candidates were lining up. There was like 28 Democratic candidates, you know, and you're just going through them. Beetlejuice, Engelbert, Humperdinck, Barack Hussein Obama, what? I mean, and we're like, what?
Now I know where you're
going. And Joe and I are doing the show, and I'm just sitting there reading it out of the Wall Street Journal.
This guy's never going to win.
Right, like, here we just spent trillions of dollars to find the other Hussein, you know, and I mean, it's just crazy. And I'm like, yeah, like this guy, we're laughing. So we need this, you got to have the disclaimers. Anything these guys say, don't take it with a grain of salt. Because I actually said he has no shot at all. And, That
was one of the few times your radar was busted.
Yeah, but you know what? But then I did call it at the end.
You did.
Yeah. Was we watched him. That's why I'm still sticking with Bernie. sticking with Bernie.
Feel the burn, Bernie.
If you had a Biden rally and a Bernie rally at two stadiums right now, the Bernie rally would be 10 times the Biden rally. So, hey, final segment coming up. First hour. First of 3 hours of Eric Searstrom hostage crisis. We'll be back. Hey, welcome back. The Blind leads the stupid. Rockin' and firing. Hole in Ceiling Studios in beautiful Deer Valley, Arizona. You can follow me over at allamericangold.com. You want to catch 2 more hours of the fun and frolic. You know, it never ends here. How about Amazon? Did you see this? The team auditing Alexa users' commands now have access to location data and, in some cases, easily find a customer's home and their listing. So I can't believe that people think that's surprising. You put one of these things in, you go, Alexa, order me a pizza. What, you don't think the thing's not listening to everything you say?
It doesn't just shut off.
Oh, no, it listens to everything. You know, how many people do you know going like, my buddy Misha, we'd go over and we'd talk about Vikings or something because he's a tech guy, and he'd go, look at this. 2 minutes later, he'd get an email about Vikings. We talked about the Cubs one day, boom. He goes, you're not going to believe this, Eric. So, yeah, they're listening. Of course they're listening. They're probably listening to everything except this radio show.
I'm okay with that.
Maybe they're listening. So, all right, here you go. It finally happened. A $1 trillion market cap. Microsoft. Their market value vaulted over $1 trillion today for the first time in the regular session trading, pulling ahead of Apple and making it the most valuable U.S. publicly traded company. I mean, imagine that. This is what's happened to the dollar. $1 trillion, you know, and again, I'm old, so don't listen to me. When I was a kid, Howard Hughes had about $11 million. Okay. I mean, think about that. Hard to imagine. Now $1 trillion. $1 trillion. Amazing, Joe. So today, what do we got? We got any specials today?
Okay, listen, we got a big one today. I got $20 Liberties and $20 St. Gaudens. They're available on our website and over the phone. $13.50. You got gold up today. Gold's what? $12.77, $12.78. $20 Liberties and or Saints at $13.50. I got about 35 of each. 35 Libs, 35 Saints.
How much?
At $13.50.
Oh, come on.
So less than $75 over spot today.
See, this is what's happened. Everybody's paying attention to everything else, and they're not paying attention to what's really going on. Politics owns the news.
Yeah, the central banks are paying attention, but nobody else is.
Let me ask you something. If Microsoft sold all $1 trillion, one company of $1 trillion of market cap, how many gold pieces could they get?
700
at today's special.
At today's special, 740,740,741.
740 million gold pieces with just Microsoft stock.
They didn't make that many.
Never.
There's not 740 million.
Oh God,
$20 gold pieces. Not even close.
Is there even 740,000? Probably seven. Yeah, probably 7.5 million.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'd say 7. Yeah, somewhere in that 7 million range.
So 7 million gold pieces, but if you liquidated just Microsoft stock,
their whole market cap.
You could only buy 10%. It would buy the entire. You'd still have 90% of your money left over.
Way more than that.
Wow.
You'd only buy about 7 million of the 740 million.
God, isn't that amazing?
That ought to tell you.
Something.
Going somewhere.
Well, they've created a lot more paper wealth than they have real wealth. There's no doubt about that. Okay, well, that's hour one. Now we're going to flip over to just the straight Eric Cedarstrom Radio News Hour coming up at your favorite listening device near you. So stay with us. We'll rock and fire and keep the fun going. We'll see you here after these messages.